lockdown and all was announced, and we had to work from home, right? So we are completing like 2 years, and we are entering the third year very soon. So there are merits and demerits, right? I assume most of us are either working from home, or if somebody is a student, it has switched to a online class. So these are things that are unheard of before, right? Um, there was work from home. They were like off online classes and offline classes in the past, but it was not like the mainstream. So in a month, let's say there were 1 or 2 days we would take a work from home because either we had some doctor appointment or we have to go somewhere. So it was very I could say very sparingly used, very limitedly used work from home. But all of a sudden, we were not prepared, and it was kind of enforced on us. So this work from home has two parts. There is merits also. I wouldn't say everything is wrong about it. There is merits also, especially people who are staying, whose workplace was very far away from their hometown. They can very much relate to it. Like they had to move to either Bangalore or Bombay or Gurgaon or to other parts of the world for work. They used to get a week time to go back to their house in a year, to have home food, to have preparation from mother, right? So they had this opportunity like only a week for a year, in a year. But because of this work from home, it doesn't matter where you are. All you need is a very good internet connection and a decent laptop. You can work from home anywhere. So that is the merit part of it. Definitely, there is merit for work from home, and this work from home is here to stay. The reason I say this is earlier when the lockdown situation was there and people were in the houses working from home. So we were told that once the vaccine is there, things will become normal and offices will open and schools will open and etc., whatnot. So it partially, it did happen. The vaccine did happen. We have all taken our vaccines, but still the life has not gone back to the normalcy because the virus, it is mutating, and you have a new variant, you have a Omicron, you have something else, you have a Delta plus. So this is something that is not going to end soon, right? Whatever the reason, whatever the conspiracy theory, whatever it is, but it's not going to end soon. So we have to be like kind of prepared for the next 3 years that this may continue at a stretch. It may end tomorrow also, but we have to be prepared for 3 years. So what is happening in this work from home? We talk about the merits that is there. Yes, people are able to go to their hometown if their work location is not Bangalore or not Gurgaon or not Pune, wherever their IT centers are. They are able to go in their hometown. They are able to save a lot of money as well because rent in Bangalore is high. In hometown, probably they don't have to pay rent, right? So they have all the perks. There is a lot of money saved. There is a lot of time saved. But what happened to the time, we don't know. The time is somewhere getting lost. But a lot of money is saved, and people are happy who are far from hometowns. But that's the merits part. There is also demerits. So the first year of lockdown, like March 2020, when this whole thing started, it was all new for us, and slowly we started adapting. So 1 year was okay, because we were also in a little bit of fear. If we go out, what we could get infected, and there was no vaccine. So the first year of the lockdown was kind of okay. There was not much mental effect of the work from home. But come the second year, there are vaccines. People got the vaccines and got a little comfortable, start moving around, and then there is a new variant, and they have to come back to the lockdown. And different states are putting night curfews and weekend curfews, and so the first year was okay because we were part in fear, part in lack of vaccines. But come the second year, things are not the same. The reason I tell you is the, from the second year, there are a lot of symptoms that are happening in people who are working from home for more than a year. So these are all stress related, I can say, directly and also indirectly. Indirectly, like people who never had diabetic earlier, who never had a history of diabetic, people who never had like diabetic in their family, right? People who never had any kind of health conditions, and who are kind of little physically active also, even they started developing symptoms of diabetes. They start their sugar levels and their what do you say, the stress levels are shooting up, right? So diabetics is one, hypertension. So they're showing up symptoms which they never had earlier, and even though they're physically active in some or the other way, still they are having getting exposed to these kind of unknown, unheard, unrelated ailments. Stress is one thing, but stress is leading to a lot of other things which is happening. So, and these are the we can say the demerits of working from home for too long, because we were never used to it, right? So the first year was okay, but come the second year, more and more symptoms are coming. More and more people need the psychiatric attention. They had to meet a psychiatrist. So and come the third year and the fourth year and the fifth year, it is going to get worse, right? So we have to be prepared. So this work from home, I can say in one sense, is kind of a slow poison that you don't even know that it is happening to you, right? And in this session we are going to see how to survive this work from home. We talked the work from home merits and demerits from the individual point of view, but also the family. We have to see how the families impact because of this work from home. There is one viral video, I'm sure many of you have seen. There is a prank call in this, RJ. He calls the housewife, and says that your husband was supposed to come to office, but due to this Omicron, we are extending the work from home for another 6 months. So you should see the reaction of the wife, right? So she's like totally totally angry with the HR, and she says, it is becoming very difficult to manage this work from home. Earlier, his work used to get over by 6 p.m. and used to be in the house at 7 p.m. Now he keeps working the all day, right? And you have to see that video. It's funny in one sense, but it also kind of highlights what our family members have to go through because of this work from home. Earlier, like we were working for the project and the company. Now the family members are also kind of involved, so they can't be their normal life. So earlier, what happened? Used to leave for office, say 9 or 10, and come back and 5 or 6 or 7 or whatever. So that was a demarcation, right? So you're in office zone and you're at home zone. But with work from home, there is no two separate things. It has become one thing, and this is kind of the effect. This is kind of the, I can say, the problem, right? So earlier you had something called as the office zone or office space, but now since we are working from home, that has merged into one thing, and this is a very dangerous thing. The reason I say this, so when we are in office, we are in office, and when we used to come home, of course there might be some calls that we may have to take from home, but otherwise home was like our space, right? What we do outside the office, what we do at home was our space. But with this whole work from home, that we have lost that space. So how to regain that? Mark your territory. It will be really good if you have like a separate room for your home office, and you do all your office work, take calls, work, everything in that room. If a room is not possible, let's say if you're having a living room and a part of that only you can use as your office space, it's okay. So mark that space in your living space, right? So if it's a shared place, that's fine. But either you take a chalk and physically mark it, or you set a block that this space is my office, and I will work only in this space, right? And the moment I'm out of that space, I'm out of office. I'm at home. The moment I enter that box, that room, it is my office. The moment I step out of that, that is my home. So we have to create these blocks now mentally. Earlier the office was separate, home was separate. Now it has become one, and this one is killing our time and our inner peace. See, earlier we used to go to office and come back. The commute used to take 1 hour or 2 hour, correct? Depending upon how far you stay from your office. Now that commute is not there. Can anyone tell me what happened to the 2 hours? The 2 hours has got now merged into this office and home combined space, right? So earlier we used to say that we don't have time for anything, but now you have the 2 solid hours which you saved in commute. This 2 hours over a period of 2 years, what have we done? Have you learned something new? Have you learned whatever musical instrument, guitar or something that you always wanted to learn? Have you done anything else tangible with these 2 hours for 2 years? The answer in most cases would be no, because these 2 hours which we saved in the commute has now lost because our office and home space are now merged. People convenient of the laptop, I can say, you can carry it anywhere, right? So people are either not having a home office space, or even if they're having, they're sometimes working from the bedroom, sometimes working from the kitchen, sometimes we're working from the commode, right? So these are convenience, but I would strongly recommend that you don't do that. Don't work in your kitchen, right? Kitchen is meant for cooking all these years. Now all of a sudden you're taking a laptop into the kitchen and you're taking calls or working and also doing cooking. Don't do that, because that is merging of two worlds, which is not good. Office should be separate, and your home should be separate. Your kitchen should be separate. In kitchen you should do cooking. In kitchen you don't take bath, right? So in kitchen you don't take bath. In kitchen you don't play sports, right? So there are different things for different areas. So in kitchen you cook, right? So create a office space. If you have a separate room, well and good. If you don't have a separate room, it's still fine. You create a boundary, right? You just do this first thing as a practice, and you'll definitely see that how it is going to help you, right? So create a separate space. If it's a shared room, take a chalk and mark the boundary and say, this is office, this is where I'm going to work, this is where I'm going to take calls. The moment I am step out of it, I'm outside my office. So earlier these borders were physical, office was separate, home was separate. Now since everything is merged together, we have to manually create these boundaries. And this is not only for you, this is also for the family member, right? So if you ask a 5-year-old kid what your mom or dad does, the kid's answer would be, they are always with the laptop roaming around here and there, right? They are in the kitchen and having the laptop, and they keep talking. So the work definition has now changed to talk. If you ask a child who's seen their parent doing work from home, so the child will say, all the day, throughout the day, they're just talking. They're looking into the laptop, and there are circles in the Teams or WebEx or whatever tool that you use. So there are people, and the whole day they're talking, right? So that's how work has become in their eyes, right? So you have to break that. So when you ask the child, what does your father do? Then they say, see, that is his office space, right? So that area, that room, that chalk marked place is his office. There he or she works, and the moment they step outside, they are my father and mother. The moment they are inside that box, they are working for the office. The moment they step outside, they are my friend, my parent, right? So create a demarcation. This is also good for us, and it is also good for the family member. The family member also, okay, now they know that, okay, now you are working and now you are not, right? So these boundaries which were physical earlier, now we have to create, and this goes in a long way in helping us and our family, right? So please do this. Create a boundary where your office should be, right? It could be just a chair, right? Or it could be a room, depending upon your thing, but clearly have a demarcation, what is office and what is home, right? And second thing, in office, when we were used to go to the office, we used to take a lot of breaks, coffee breaks and tea breaks, and chat, gossip, office gossip. These were not just a break for the coffee, right? It was never just the coffee, right? Just think somebody else joined. It was never just the coffee, right? The caffeine in the coffee was not the only thing, but we used to go as a group, and we used to discuss a lot of things. It could be work related, it could be totally not work related, it could be bitching about pardon my language, it could be bitching about the company or the manager. It could be telling that my manager is giving me a tough time, whatever. So these were like the chimneys in the factory, right? You've seen any factories, definitely you would have seen a lot of factories in your lifetime. So there is a lot smoke that comes out of the chimney in the factory, right? Because of the combustion or whatever process happens in the factory, at some point of time there is a smoke or unwanted stuff thrown out of from the chimney. What will happen if somebody seals this chimney? That thing that was supposed to go out will not go out, and it will remain inside the chimney, and it will come back to the factory, and it will start affecting everybody in the factory, right? This gossips were our chimney. These small breaks, these small talks that we used to have with our like-minded herd, what I can say is, right, like you're talking to a person who understands your problem, not necessarily that you're expecting a solution, but just talking to to the person who understands your problem is like letting out the unwanted pollution out of your chimney. Now what is happening? We are out of that office zone, so we are not having those gossip time, right? So what is happening now? You cannot go to your 5-year-old child and tell that see, one person is going on a leave in my team, and I don't know how to handle this. The child will start laughing at you, right? Because the child won't understand what is that problem, right? And same thing goes with your spouse. They say, what is this is a very very small trivial issue, you can't even handle this. What are you getting paid for? You can't even handle this small thing, right? So they may, because they are in a different zone, they won't understand what is your problem. Who will understand your problem? People of your same feather, right? If somebody is into development or somebody is into testing, another developer only will understand what is your problem. A tester will not understand what is your problem, right? Similarly, if somebody is a tester, a developer may think testing is a very easy job, but only a tester can tell how difficult or how challenging that job is, right? So you have to talk to your herd, and this was available in our office time. But unfortunately, since we are out of that zone, we are not having this, and this is building up the pressure, like the chimney has been sealed. So how to handle this? Talk to someone of your herd. You know who your herd is, right? It could be from your same company, or of course in this lockdown time people have changed jobs, and you have a new team, and you haven't met them personally, you don't know what kind of, so don't, it doesn't matter, talk to your friend from your previous project, right? So talk to people who can relate to your problem, and you're talking not to get a solution, you're talking to let it off. If you don't let this, I can say in this entire session, this is the one of the most important thing that we are not doing in a work from home scenario, right? So we are having call and official calls, official talks, but we are not having this gossip, which acted in a very good way. It was not the coffee, it was not the caffeine in the coffee that helped us. It was this gossip and small talk that helped us, right? So in a day, spend 15 minutes for the small talks, and do this for a week, and within 1 week you will feel you're back to your normal thing, you're back to your you got that zeal back, right? During this work from home, the life has become more monotonous, because the lesser number of people you're meeting, the lesser number of activities that you're doing, right? Break this and talk to people. Take out your phone contact and see who can relate to me. Right? It could be work related, it could be non-work related also. So we all have our herd, we all have our birds of same feather who can understand our problem, right? So please talk. By talking, you're letting it out of the chimney. If you don't talk, you're just holding it back, and it is going to hurt the chimney, and it is going to hurt the factory. Right? Hope this point is clear, because this is the most important point of the whole session. These small talks did the job for us earlier, right? So many of you know I don't drink tea or coffee, but whenever somebody invited me for a coffee break, I would always join, because it's not the, as I say, it's not the caffeine in that coffee, it's that chat, it's that talk that used to let go of the things, right? And then when you come back, you're fresh, and you can start. Holding it back is going to hurt us in a long way, right? So more than the physical damage that our body can undergo, the mental damage, the stress is more dangerous, because the mental stress can give physical ailments, right? The mind body system is so powerful that it can solve a problem, it can create a problem. This is just a story, just to tell how powerful is the capacity of the mind. So one person is having a little uncomfortable, heart problem. He's feeling a little uneasy. So he goes to the doctor and check, and the doctor says, "Go and take this test." So he goes and takes this test, and the report comes that you're having a serious heart problem, and there is a hole in the heart. So this is the report that comes, and he goes and shows it to doctor, and doctor confirms, and this person becomes very, very depressed. Says, "Oh, there is a hole in my heart, I'm going to die, there's a hole in my heart." So every moment he's just thinking about that. There is a hole in the heart, there's a hole in the heart, there's a hole in the heart. So this is there in his life, every moment, eating, sleeping, talking, working, every moment he's just thinking about this one thing, that there is a hole in the heart. Right? And 2 months later, he gets a call from that diagnostic center who took the test. They say, "Sir, we are seriously sorry. The report actually got misplaced. Your report went to someone else, and someone else's report, came to you. So because of some clerical issue, the reports got changed." Now this person is now curious that my report went to somebody else and his report came to me. I want to talk to that person. I want to see what, like, I went through a lot of trauma. I want to see what would have happened to the other person who got the other report. So he meets that other person, and he says, "Oh, my report came as no problem. I thought I had a serious heart problem, but the report came that I have no problem, and I have been living very happily for the past 2 months. And yesterday I did a check, and even in that report it came, that I don't have any heart problem, right?" Now this person is become a little scared, and now he goes and takes a second check. Actually, he didn't have a heart problem, only the report got mismatched. Now he goes and takes the report, and now he actually got the heart problem. So what has happened in this past 2 months, person A is thinking that I have a heart problem, I have a heart problem, though he did not had, right? He always kept thinking that I have a hole in the heart, I have a hole. The mind-body system has actually created a hole in the heart, thinking that this person actually wants it, because every moment he is asking for it, right? Every moment it is there in his system, mind-body system, it is there that there's a hole in the heart. So the mind-body system has actually created a problem for him. On the other hand, the person B who actually had a problem, but since the report came as negative, so he was very happy and he was saying, "No, I am healthy now. My heart doesn't have any problem." So this mood of happiness, right? This what you call this rush of happiness has actually cured his problem. So that's the power of mind body system, right? So when you let out the stress, it is good. If you hold it back, it is going to hurt us in the long run. So these small talks, these gossips, this talking to the herd is very, very important. This is something that we had in office, and this is something that we are missing from this work from home. So now also you can still do it. If possible, meet people in person. If not possible, pick up the phone and talk to someone who can understand your problem. And not necessarily that you should have a problem. Just pick up the phone and talk. Say how are you, what you're doing, what you're. So it's just socialize in the available space, in the available boundary now, right? Because our boundaries have shrunk. So socialize in whatever possible, but please socialize. These small talks, these small breaks in a day helps us in a long way. Try it for a week, and then you will see that how helpful it is. The next topic is physical work, right? So earlier, at least, you used to go to office. In the office, you used to walk around, right? But now that has not the thing, right? So most of the day we are sitting in one place, and human body is something that was not meant to sit 8 to 12 hours in a one place. In the long run, it is going to create a lot of uh, health related issues, right? Somebody is joined. I think they should change the setting to admit people automatically. Right. So this physical work is very much needed. The WHO, the World Health Organization, says that an average person must do some kind of exercise or physical activity 30 minutes in a day for 5 days in a week, right? So that comes around 30 into 5. You can do the calculation. So in a week, like 30 minutes a day for 5 days in a week. That's the minimum that they set. But that is for an average person. But since we are working from home, we have come out of that average zone. So we should be doing a physical activity more than 30 minutes, but at least 30 minutes for beginners, right? Do any physical activity that you like. If you like walking, do walking. If you like running, do running. If you like to work out in the gym, do that. You like dance, you like aerobics, do that. You like yoga, do that. Some kind of physical activity should be there in a day, right? The human body, if you see from the evolution, from when we were hunter gatherers, right, it was never meant to be sit in one place. It was always meant to be moving around and hunting and gathering and a lot of physical work in the farm. Or human body was always meant to be physical work, right? But unfortunately, that era is gone. If you see our grandparents and great grandparents, they never kind of did any exercise because it was not required for them, because they used to work hard in the field in the sun, or they used to travel a lot by barefoot. So this exercise kind of concept was not required for them, right? But at least in our times, that is not the case. So we should do some kind of physical work for 30 minutes in a day, and this is very much needed, right? 30 minutes a day, 5 days a week. This is minimum. You can do more as well, right? So there are these running clubs that I know of. I know that for sure there's one in Cubbon Park, and then there's one in Lalbagh, the Reebok running club, and I also know that there is one Nike running club also, and these are free of cost. So you can look up their. I think there's a Facebook page for each of them. So you can look up for them and see if the membership is available, and if it's still on, and you're nearby, you can join that. So whatever, see, somehow or the other there should be like half an hour physical work, right? That could be running, jogging, gym exercise, yogasana, something or other, kind of physical work should be there. And that is your normal exercise. But apart from that, even in your normal work day, every 1 hour, just 5 minutes in an hour, just get up and walk, wash your face, rinse your eyes with water, because continuously we're looking at the screen, right? So this 5 minutes walk in an hour would actually help us in a long run. It's kind of alternating to that small breaks that we used to have in office. That 5 minutes, just get up and walk, wash your face, take water in the eyes, and take water in the palm and rest in your eyes, kind of relaxing the eyes, because the whole day we are staring at the monitor, right? So that is the physical exercise part. The next part, which is mostly ignored part, is breathing exercise. Why should we have breathing as an exercise? 24 hours we are breathing, even in the sleep we are breathing, right? But breathing exercise gives a large amount of oxygen supply to the brain and to the heart, and to the entire mind body system, right? So 15 minutes of deep breathing, either you do it in the morning, ideal is morning, right, around sunrise time. If that is not a possibility, evening, right, or throughout the day you can do anything, but ideal is morning, right? So simple breathing exercise, alom vilom, kapalbhati, whatever you're comfortable, breathe through one nostril, deep breathe, and release through the other nostril, right? And you can do any time of the day, but ideally morning is good. So this, so oxygen anyway we are breathing, right? But when you do deep breathing, so it's lot of things happen in deep breathing, right? So there's this whole science behind it. So if you want, you can do your own research and find out what actually happens in deep breathing. But for starters, for initial, when you do deep breathing, take the no, breathe as long as you possible, hold it as long as possible, and then slowly release it. The release should not be very fast. If you take like 5 seconds to breathe, the breathe out should be 10 seconds. So slowly at a steady pace, should not fast or slow. So simple breathing exercise. Breathe in for 5 count, hold it for 5 count, release it for 10 count, right? So so what this does is, like you saw that chimney where the unwanted carbon dioxide and other gases used to flow. So when we do this deep breathing, each cell has to breathe, right? Each cell has to do this process of oxygen, carbon dioxide, etc. So when we do this deep breathing, it actually helps each and every cell by supplying more amount of oxygen and also giving a passage to throw this carbon dioxide outside, right? And a lot of things happens in this breathing exercise. If you go to that Vipassana meditation, and they claim that this is the original meditation process that was taught by Gautama Adi Buddha, right? So the process starts with the focusing on the breathing, right? So they ask you to focus on breathing, how the air is going inside your nose, how the air is coming outside the nose. So that's all, like, a lot of research and science and process. But if you want, you can get into all that. But for starters, for beginners, 15 minutes of breathing exercise is mandatory. So till now, what we've seen, we have seen like 15 minutes of gossip time with your herd, very important. 30 minutes of exercise, any kind of physical work, and then 15 minutes of breathing exercise. So it's like an hour in a day. So this is for normal people. If somebody thinks that I don't have that 1 hour to give for this, right? So I'm very busy, I'll not be able to spend that 1 hour for this exercise, breathing, and gossip. So if you're a person who cannot do this for 1 hour, which means you are in a much serious condition and you have to do it for 1.5 hours or 2 hours, right? If you're not able to spend 1 hour, you please consider yourself as a serious patient, and you have to do the whole thing for 2 hours. If you're a normal person, 1 hour in a day should be enough, should be fine. 15 minutes of gossip or chat, whatever you want to call it, right? It could be complaining about the company, complaining about the package, complaining about your boss, work, or anything positive to discuss as well. But have these gossip talks for 10-15 minutes, 30 minutes of physical work, 15 minutes of breathing for normal person. If you're a busy person, please increase the dose. And the last point that I had to discuss was off-screen time. So earlier, back in the days, I'm talking like when we were kids, play was different, right? Play, we used to go out and play in the ground and this thing. Entertainment was different. You has to go to the cinema theaters to see, or you just had one Doordarshan channels, or a couple of few channels as you were growing. And what else? Learning was separate, right? So everything were separate places and separate things. But now everything has become a screen. education is on the screen, your work is on the screen, your entertainment is on the screen, right? Your play is also on the screen, so your like video games and PC games and etc whatever, so everything has now become screen, right? So earlier the people used to wear out by doing physical work. Now we are wearing out by looking at the screen, and I'm really scared because very very young children are also like completely addicted to mobile. They are always having a mobile device and very close to the screen, very close to the face. So you should have a off screen time for individual, and as a family also you can say, okay, from this time to this time you're not going to see any devices. That includes your mobile, which is the like culprit number one. Culprit number two is your laptop, because it's slightly at a distance, so is less damaging but still damaging. And the third is your stupid box, or what we call it as the television, right? So these three things, there should be an off screen time, meaning you should not see these screens. In one of our early session, we spoke extensively about the sleep ritual, right? Like how you communicate your body that I'm going to go for sleep. Say half an hour before the sleep, you do a exactly same set of things day after day, and after certain point of time, the body will now will understand. Okay, now this person has started doing this 1, 2, 3, 4 things. Now he is going to sleep. Right? So communicate with your body. So it could be like drinking a glass of. It could be different for different. Whatever works for you, you choose that. It could be like drinking a glass of warm water or milk, or reading a very very book which is very light, not a very criminal or fictional, not a very criminal or suspense kind of a thriller kind of a novel, or normal simple book, right? Or meditate, or breathing exercise, whatever. So you do a few set of things, 4 5 set of things, and then you go to sleep. Do this for over a period of time. Then after like 20 days and 30 days, when you start the first thing in your that sleep rituals, the body will start to tune. Okay, now this person has started this. Now he's going to do the second step and this third step and fourth step, and he's going to sleep. The body will start preparing itself, right? Now the body is confused because you see a screen, right? Especially a mobile screen, and that too you're holding it very close to your face. It gives like the adrenaline rush to the brain. It creates an alertness in the brain and mind body system, that this person is going to do some activity now. He's looking at the screen, he's looking at the video. Now he has to be alert, right? So we look at mobile for hours, especially before sleep, and then we put it, and then we go to bed and say, I'm not getting sleep. How will you get sleep? Right? It's like drinking coffee. It's like taking a sleeping tablet. Some people take sleeping pills because they're not getting sleep. So you're taking sleeping pills along with coffee. Coffee is something that will keep you awake. It will affect your sleep and hunger cycle up to 6 hours. Now the body is confused. One side is taking sleeping tablet to sleep. Other side is taking coffee, which will keep them awake. Right? Body is confused. Body doesn't know, should I sleep or should I be awake? Right? So communicate with your body. Take this confusion out. Communicate. The most important communication that you have is communication with your body, right? Off-screen time is very important. At least 30 minutes before sleep, don't see this screen, mobile, laptop, TV. 2 hours would be ideal, would be best, but at least 30 minutes. 30 minutes before sleep, no screen. You can do anything else. You can read a book, you can breathe, you can chat, gossip, but no screen time, right? No screen for 30 minutes before sleep. Do this practice, and then you'll definitely get a good sleep, right? So we'll quickly recap what we discussed till now. So we started with how the whole lockdown thing started, and initially we were confused. We don't know what was happening, how long it is going to be. When we started in March 2020, we did not know how long it was going to last. So the first year we were also a little scared, no vaccines available, right? And but somehow we we lived past that first year. First year, the damage was lesser. There were merits also, work from home. We saw that people who were staying far away from their, families now had a chance to go and live with their family, right? And there was a lot of saving in terms of cost because the rent in Bangalore was high. So they were saving that cost. But there were also demerits for that because the work from home not only affected us, it also affected the family, right? And we saw that one viral video where the housewife is complaining to the HR the husband's work from home is affecting them, and please open the office and take him to the office. So she was like pleading like in that video. And then we saw the importance of office space, creating your office space. Don't carry your laptop to your kitchen, to your bedroom, to your terrace. Of course, if you can do that in comfortable. But if you have an office space physically and mentally, you're creating that boundary which was only present physically. You went to office, that was office. You came back home, it was your home. But now the things, both worlds have got merged, right? And it is a very dangerous thing. So create a physical boundary in the home itself and say, okay, this is where I'm going to work, this is where I'm not going to work, this is my house, this is my office. Create this physical thing. It is good for you, it is good for your family, right? Your 5-year-old kid also know, okay, that father is sitting in that chair, that is office work, and I should not disturb him. He's out of that place, now he's my friend, right? So create those spaces. Is good for us, it's good for our family, and this is the first step to survive this work from home, right? Because we saw that first year was okay, but second year people started getting different kinds of symptoms. People started getting diabetic, people started getting BP, though they were physically active, right? They started developing a lot of stress related symptoms, and the symptom is not one for everyone. Every person's body is reacting differently for this, right? So these are a few four 5 steps that can help us break. First of them is create your own office space. Office is separate, home is separate. Though they are within the same building, within the same room, still office space is separate and personal space is separate. Small talks. Talk to your herd. The power of gossips and breaks, right? Talk to your kind, because the other person will not understand. Your spouse will not understand your problem. They may not understand, or they may mock, which will add to the stress. So talk to people who understand your world, right? It need not be from the same company, because some people might have changed job in during this time, and they don't know that new person because they have never met the person in person, right? Because in video calls we always have a smile and talk well, right? And sometimes we don't even turn the camera on in our office calls, right? So talk to a person who you know, right? Who can understand your problem. It's not that they're going to give you a solution, but just by talking to them is just like letting out the unwanted things, the bad air outside, right? So it's very important. One of the most important point. If you have to take one point out of this whole thing, then this is that one point, right? Have that small talks which we were having earlier, right? It's not the caffeine in the coffee, but the gossip that used to refresh us. Physical work, I don't have to stress, everybody knows at least 30 minutes in a day, 5 days a week is what World Health Organization's recommendation. That is for a normal person. But for us, we have to slightly increase the dose. Breathing exercise, very good. Supplies good amount of oxygen to the mind-body system, right? And helps us focus also better, right? So just by taking the break, just do a deep breathing, and then you see your focus is much better. And off-screen time, yes, this is also an important thing. 30 minutes before sleep, no screen time, right? 2 hours is good, 30 minutes is minimum, right? And if you feel you'll not be able to spend this 1 hour, that is like 15 minutes gossip, 30 minutes physical exercise, and 15 minutes breathing. If you think you're a very busy person and you're not able to spend this 1 hour, then you have to spend 1.5 hour or 2 hours, right? Okay, with this we'll stop. If anyone has any questions, doubts, we can quickly take. Yes, sir. Yeah. Yeah, sure, sure, Raghav. Go ahead. Hmm. Correct. Correct. Yes. Yes. Hmm. Uh, right. Correct. Correct. Hmm. 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 Right. Yeah. Correct. True. Correct. Correct. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Office work. Yeah, yeah. Right. Hmm. 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 Specs. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. Right. Right. Hmm. Hmm. Some far object. Yeah. Right. Hmm. 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 Right. 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 Correct. Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Right. Hmm. Right. Right. Perfect. Yes. Perfect. No, no, no. Go ahead. Go ahead. We have time. Go ahead. Go ahead. Right, right, good, good. Yeah, so whatever you practice for 21 days, that's what research says. Whatever you practice for 21 days, after that it becomes a habit, and you have it as a habit for a long enough time, it becomes a part of you, right? So that first 21 days is the challenge. If you're able to do that, then you don't have to maintain things. It'll automatically happen. Like how brushing the teeth is. Nobody has to tell us get up and brush the teeth. The moment we get up, we automatically know that we have to go to the restroom and we have to take the brush. So things happen subconsciously, right? It's what is called as unconscious competence. Nobody has to tell you, it automatically happens, right? Even though we are thinking of something else, we are thinking about work, automatically the brush is taken, the paste is put, because we have been doing it for a long time and it has become a habit for us, right? So similarly, these other things also which we want to do, if you do it for like first 21 days, slowly it becomes a habit, and you keep doing that habit, it becomes a part of you. Definitely, Raghav. Yes, we all know these things. See, whatever I've told is not something new that you're hearing it for the first time, right? We all know this, but somehow we are not able to do it, or we take it lightly, or we don't know the importance, right? So that's the reason a little reminder is required. And also, Raghav brought one very important point, right? So when we went to office, the people in the home, it was their territory, right? That the house was their territory. They could do whatever they want. They could watch whatever daily soap that they want to watch. They could go and chat with their herd, right? But because we are sitting in office, we are capturing their space as well, right? We are asking, why are you watching this this channel or this TV? This is so boring, or whatever. We are entering. Their space, which is not good, and vice versa. So we can't go out of the house, or that's the kind of a thing that is there. But within the house only, let's create that boundary that I was talking. So this is my office space. I do office work here. Outside this, I'm not the office person, right? So that's the thing. Anybody else have anything to share? We have a couple of minutes. Yeah. Yeah, Lata. Yeah, Lata. Correct. Correct. Right. Ah. Ah. Yeah. Oh. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Right. Yeah, that's what no research says. And once it becomes a habit, you do it for a long time, then it becomes a part of you. Then you do. You don't have to schedule for it. It will automatically happen. If you are not doing it for one day, you'll start feeling uncomfortable. That something is missing. What happened to something is missing? What happened? Oh, I did not walk today morning. I did not exercise today morning. The body will start for mind body will start forcing you that you're out of your comfort zone. Yeah. Right. Yeah, what happened to that time? Yeah. Hmm. Right. 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 Correct. Yeah. Correct. 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 Right. Yeah. So attending session is one thing. Second thing is putting that into practice, right? That is the important thing. So try to do as much as possible. Maybe out of those 5 steps that we discussed, like creating your own office space, talking to your herd, physical exercise, breathing exercise. Fifth was the off-screen time, right? So out of 5, if you can start all 5, well and good. At least start one for the first week, then second, third, slowly. But somehow or other, these all 5 things are important, and for us as well as for our family, right? It's not only us that is going through this work from home. Right. It's also for the family. One nice point that Raghav brought was, yeah, first year of lockdown, people did a lot of things, right? The one thing I remember was this Dalgona coffee, and almost everybody were making and posting photos of that and this and that. And I also did a lot of baking in my first year. I used to do bread, pizza, and I did a lot of cooking, right? But slowly, come second year, that has has reduced, I can say, right? So we got used to it. It is not, or it is not exciting anymore, right? So I already know this kind of thing. But for the first year, it was new that people started cooking. But come second year, it has becoming boring. So we have to pick up something else. That's what it means, right? Because this work from home kind of thing might end tomorrow. It might take another 3 years. But let's prepare for that 3 years. Assuming it is going to be for the next 3 years, what should we do now? So that's what should be our approach. Cool. Anybody else? Anything? Anybody else want to share? Hi, Sunil. Hmm. Right. Correct. 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 Right. Hmm. It's a challenge. Right. Yeah, I agree. Right. Yeah. So this is something that we practice in our current team, because the current team, nobody has met each other at all. Right. We have been working in this project for 1.5 year. Yeah, almost. But nobody has met each other at all because everybody is remote. Right. So what we do is one day in a week, that is like Wednesday, we have a time like 10:30 to 11. We talk everything but work. So that is our gossip time for the team. So every day we have fixed that time. So every Wednesday 10:30 to 11 we talk all kinds of things. Somebody is good in share market, so he talks about share market and people have any questions they ask. So somebody just no, there is no fixed topic, right? So 30 minutes in a week we just talk random stuff, right? But work, we don't talk, we consciously make sure a point that we don't talk work. And we also made sure that the manager is not there in that, right? Because some people might not be very comfortable having manager, though the manager is friendly and all that, right? So that's one thing that we do in our team. And this is something that you can also try out, that either whatever time suits, either it could be a lunch time, it could be morning, right? So whatever time suits for your team, you can have that 15 or 30 minutes of conversation, random talks, and that is for your project team. But apart from this, what I'm saying is, even your colleagues who worked with you in your previous projects, you can call them or fix up a time for the for that, and whatever works, right? So talk to them, because them you have met personally, right? If you're changed a team, you in the previous team members you would have met personally, you know what kind of person they are. Talking to someone only on the video call, you will not able to judge how that person will be, right? On the video call it might be a different person, personally that person might, physically the person might be different, right? So that is difficult to connect to somebody who you just met online, right? It will be very easy to talk to someone who you personally know, right? So pick the phone, talk to them, right? If you want to fix on a time, you can do that as well. So these two things I think will work with your team. You can set a time, either once a week or daily or whatever works for your case. And also feel free to talk to your previous colleagues and friends, and basically people who understand your world. Yeah. Yeah, Lata. Yeah. Right. Sun says that I don't have exposed to sunlight. Right. Yeah. Yes. 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 Right. Right. Very nice. Right. Right. Yeah. That is good time. Right. So my home office, I can just give you a quick tours.